Hey, everyone, it's Isaiah. Welcome. So this is me and Chris. Hi, Chris.
Hello.
We are continuing our little series of interviewing the speakers for Women Lighting the Way 2023 edition. And today we're welcoming Callie. Hi, Callie.
Hi.
Welcome. Hi. So, yeah, the point of these little interviews is to introduce a little bit our speakers and who they are in a less formal way. But first, before we go into talking with Callie, I want to remind you that if you do not yet have a ticket to watch and listen to all the amazing speakers of Women Lighting the Way 2023 edition, you will find the link below, above, in every place around for the summit, and I highly recommend you register ASAP. It is free, but the benefits that you will get out of it are not free. They are huge. They are humongous. First of all, there's 14 speakers this year, and each and every one of them is amazing, if I say so myself. Being the only one at this point who has listened to everyone, I can guarantee you're not going to want to miss any of them. There's also 2 live panels that we haven't been talking about enough, so let me catch up with that. So we have 2 live panels, one on the Saturday, the 24th, and one on Sunday, 25th, with a series of our speakers, and we have a big topic conversation for 90 minutes around whatever we want to talk about, basically. Plus, you get access to freebies, giveaways, and amazing offers to work with our speakers should you want to. So, what are you waiting for? Just go and register. So today we speak a little bit with Callie, and because it's really important for me and Chris, I think, that this summit is a global thing, that we have speakers from all over the place. My first question for you, Callie, would be, where are you from?
So, where I live is in London, sunny southwest London. Very famous for our Wombles, the Eco Warriors, the original Eco Warriors, 2 of which are sitting behind me here. You can see them. And we're also very famous for our Wimbledon tennis championships. But I actually originate from about 70 miles down the coast on the Sussex coastline. So I'm a sea baby, and I do miss that. I really do miss being near the sea, particularly in the wintertime.
Yeah, particularly in the wintertime. Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, I think it's because when you're highly sensitive, too many people is too much of a thing. And so in the winter, it's a lot quieter. There's not as many peoples around to have to navigate your way around. But also, it's just something about being on the seashore when the wind is really howling in and the sea is churning and you can feel it flecking your face, and you have little sea mermaid purses being washed up on the shoreline and all kinds of driftwood and fantastical things. So yeah, it's a bit like going on a treasure hunt every morning when you go out in the winter storms.
Oh, yeah.
Wow, you make it sound appealing.
Yeah, no, for me, I hear you so much. It's kind of, I got the opportunity 2 years ago to go and spend the month of February on a house literally by the sea. So it wasn't the Atlantic Ocean, it was the Mediterranean, but the winter was amazing, plus I was on my own. There was absolutely no one around, and that was really, really cool. So yeah, I hear you.
And it's also a really good workout for you as well. So you don't need to go to a gym because the wind's coming at you and you're pushing your way forward and you're trying to grab your coat and scarf and hat and everything. And with me, my crotches as well. So that's quite an interesting mix. Yeah, like the majorettes, but with crutches rather than.
Do you actually do that now that you don't live by the sea? Do you take your car? Or
if I'm very lucky, I get to spend some time by the sea. Very, very lucky, but maybe one weekend. At the moment, I'm hoping things will change later this year, ready for the winter. But it's all in the hands of the goddesses at the moment.
Okay, so you mentioned crutches. I'm going to ask, do you have them permanently? Do you need them to walk? Do you prefer to have them? How does this work?
Yeah, so it was April 2018. I was over in Florence, which is where I was getting married in July. Been with my partner 20 years, so we've been together a long, long time. But we thought we'd better make it official. And we must have walked 18 miles in 2 days. I don't know if you've ever been to Florence, but it's a very beautiful, very historic city centre, very small. There's a lot of streets you cannot get any public transport down. So most of it was mainly on foot. And at the end of the second day, I literally could not stand anymore. I was crying my eyes out, and we realised that something was really bad with my knees. And eventually, after many tests and things like that, discovered I had very severe osteoarthritis.
Oh.
And I don't know how I'd got around before, really, without having too many issues. So then I had to start using crutches because going downhill was presenting a real problem, and I felt very unsteady, almost like I was going to fall over. And the risk of falling over was just too great. So I started to use those. And then it got so bad that I had to use them every time I left the house. Don't use them in the house, but every time I left the house. Happily, having recently had some surgery, not to do with my knees, but other things, it's kind of lifted the pain a little bit. So I still need to use my crutches. Sometimes I can get away with just walking around with one of them. And if I'm on a flat, I'm thinking of getting myself a really fancy, maybe poppies or peacock decorated cane. I think that looks a little bit nicer aesthetically, because I am still incredibly vain.
So I have a few notes here. First note is, and that gives me an opportunity also to talk about the summit in a different way. We've been discussing that for me, it's really important that we are creating a library of women's stories that we would love to make available, outside of the actual summit dates or the replays and so we're thinking on how we're going to organize this library. There'll be a free access. Once this is on, I will send you a link to Tracy Kissoon's talk from last year.
Oh.
She's a chronic pain specialist, and her talk will literally change your life.
Thank you. I look forward to that.
She's amazing. I love Tracy to bits. But anyway, it's so cool that you can hear. I can hear, because I've heard all the talks. These reflections, these mirror images of what goes on in somebody's story is actually almost a parallel to somebody else's, and how, basically we can help each other just by telling our story, not by teaching or selling anything, but just by, so you were there and this happened, and then, but I can relate. I'm fascinated by that, really. Every year when I listen to the new talks, it's like, what am I going to learn about me?
Yeah,
absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely. And I love the fact that we are just constantly ever evolving and ever changing. And what is our big story this year won't necessarily be our big story next year.
Yeah.
Because something will have come in and either superseded that, or something from the past will have come back and maybe nudged us on the back of the head or KO'd us, as often happens.
Absolutely. Or something that seemed irrelevant last year suddenly becomes big this year. We have a few alumna coming back this year in the summit, amongst which Christy, who has been there from year one. So it's her third talk.
Wow.
And one of the things that she does mention is that, she loves us to bits, so she wants to come, but she has no idea what she's going to be talking about until she's in front of her notebook or whatever. And then she said, I knew what was the story for this year. And that for me was really interesting to know that there, and to kind of not know, but be reminded that we have way more than one story. Each of us.
Definitely.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I just happened to choose, I think, probably the most convoluted, complicated story I could find. which is just true to form with me. That's my character.
Okay. Do you have any questions, Chris, right now, or shall I think of some?
I do have a question.
Okay.
I do have a question. And I'm just going to ask you. Okay. A friend invites you to a concert for free. You're going, and who are you hoping it is? Taylor Swift or Beyonce?
Those are two acts
Neither?
I don't listen to.
No. Oh.
Neither.
No, I'm very retro.
Okay, so tell us who. Tell us who then.
I think right now I'd probably want to go back and see Pet Shop Boys because I saw them in concert. I'd spent 20 years of my life dissing them to my husband, who is a raving Pet Shop Boys fan, and I grudgingly went along with him. I'd got him tickets for his 50th birthday to go and see them in concert in London, and of course then COVID came and everything was delayed, and we went to see them last year and they were absolutely amazing. And so yeah, I'd love to go and see them again, but this time with goggles on that aren't misted over with the I don't want to go and enjoy this and actually really go and enjoy it and sing along.
Yes.
Awesome.
I just went to see The Cure like 2 weeks ago.
Wow.
Oh my gosh.
Really?
It was so much fun. So much fun. He was so good. And Pet Shop Boys. I love Pet Shop Boys.
Now I would love cats all afternoon now.
Yes. I think they opened with. Oh, it was so much fun. It was great.
Awesome.
We're going to see China Crisis in October.
Do you my gosh, they're still together? Yes.
Yeah, that'll be interesting.
Wow.
And for Christmas this year, my dog, well, not actually my dog, my husband for my dog, obviously, brought me tickets to go and see Boney M. So we're going to see them in July. Well, just one member now is doing it, but apparently it's a fantastic show. So my husband's going to be mortified because I'm going to be going dressed in 70s gear. I've got to find a feather boa from somewhere, obviously, as well. And he's going to be mortified by that.
The basics. You can't just go as yourself, you know.
No.
You have to be the dancing queen. Young and sweet, only 17. Exactly.
Oh my God.
Well, we did the opposite with Tracy when I was in the UK in April. We went and to see somebody who was of the younger generation, and I was kind of, is it going to be fun? We went to see Micah, and we had so much fun.
I would be interested to go and see
so
him.
much good energy, and I was surprised because I was kind of expecting, I'm retro myself, so. But I love real concerts, real people, live entertainment, as opposed to movies. So much real music and real people actually playing. So
but I'd bite your arm off though if you had tickets to go and see Lady Gaga.
Oh,
I think she's amazing. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So many
I'll add
things
that one
to
the
do.
list.
Sorry.
Okay, my next question would be, what is a color that you cannot stand, that you absolutely hate?
Oh, that's an interesting way to come
and
at
why?
it. And why?
Gosh, a few years ago it would have been yellow. Now I have a lot of yellow in my house. And in the studio, in the garden, I have the most vivid yellow you've ever seen in your life. It's just amazing. It just pops you.
So why the turnaround?
I have a feeling it's to do with my emotional changes, about different chakras clearing or becoming more me as I get older. More willing to integrate those parts of me that maybe I didn't feel comfortable with in the first place, more confidence, etc. But I think it relates to when over here in the UK, we had something called NVQs, National Vocational Qualifications. And I was the first year that they rolled them out on when I went back to college when my son was little. So when he was 5 and went to school, I went back to college and then went to university. I tend to do a lot of life back to front. It's just a recurring theme, which is okay. It's all good because I'm a lifelong learner, so I'm happy anyway. And this NVQ meant that you had a lot of tick boxes and checklists to go through, and everything had to be mapped out. And there must have been 300 sheets of yellow paper. I kid you not. So we were doing this in parallel with the qualifications, other qualifications that we were doing, and at the same time as doing a diploma. So it was just like the most monstrous form of bureaucracy ever. And I honestly think this is where my hatred, and it really was a hatred of yellow, came from. But now I'm really liking the idea of a vibrant yellow kitchen, which is not going to be appearing in my kitchen anytime soon. I've been reliably informed, which I think is disappointing. But honestly, I can't think. I mean, maybe brown. But brown's not a colour I dislike. I just dislike it on cars. I just don't see why I would have a car.
That's so funny. Because I love brown cars all of a sudden. I don't know why.
Well,
but
actually, I love a colour brown, as in the fact that it's chocolate. It's
oh yeah,
but not cars. You know, okay.
You don't have to go any further than chocolate. On the other side.
Well, ladies, thank you very much. It's already 16 minutes where we've been talking. You can't, when you're having fun. Thank you very much. I love asking weird questions and having all the insights on your kitchen. My kitchen is yellow, just so you know. So if you want to visit at any point,
I am.
You can come too as well, of course. So yeah, thank you very much, Callie, for having us.
Thank you.
Again, if you do not have a ticket to listen to Callie's whole story and to 13 other amazing stories, go and get one ASAP. You will not regret it. I can guarantee that. Also, I want to remind you that you have 1 week of free replays. So if the time zones are playing havoc with your life, which I can fully understand, we've been doing these interviews with all those speakers from all over the world, and we've been wrong on the time zones at least 3 times already. So I can understand that. But you have the free replays, so you can sleep when it's sleep time. You don't have to wake up at rude o'clock to come and listen to our speakers. You can catch them on replay, and I guarantee that this will make your beginning of summer bloom. So thank you very much again, Callie, for helping us present the summit and yourself.
Well, thank you.
And I will speak to you in the live panels. If I'm not mistaken, you're coming on, which day are you coming again? Saturday? Sorry, I don't remember. And I don't have my
Saturday
ducks in a row. Not everything is prepped. So thank you very much again. And I will see you very soon.
Much.
Bye for now.
Thank you.